Hey everyone, Arminder here with a voiceover. So today I'm sharing a video I recently posted on my Patreon page. It's a type of video that I often put out there where I crack open a brand new bottle of rum, try it in front of the camera, and share my gut reaction to it. As you're about to see, these are some pretty casual, off-the-cuff videos. I figured I'd give you a taste of the kind of content that I'm putting out on Patreon because, hey, the first one is always free. Now, if you liked this video, then check out my Patreon page and consider supporting me over there. And you might even find on Patreon the real reason why I posted this video on YouTube. How's that for a tease? Alrighty, take it away, Arminder. Hey everyone, it's me, Arminder here, doing another first impressions video, though this one is actually not going to be a first impression, it's going to be a second impression. It's the Worthy Park Overproof. I had like a very small pour of this a couple of months back in Arizona. Shannon Mustafer was doing an event with Doc Parks at Arizona Tiki Oasis, and it was like a blending event. They were highlighting a number of different rums from different countries, and Shannon busted this out, and I was like, what? How'd you get this? And she said Zan from Worthy Park gave it to her, and that's what she used in the tasting for like a unaged overproof Jamaican rum. So had a quick little sip, but there's a lot going on. Didn't have it in any cocktails. Now I may have actually, technically may have been my second time, because the first may have been, I want to say New York Rum Fest. One of the fests from last year, Zan from Worthy Park was at a booth and he gave me a pour of something out of his pocket, and that's always fun. But because it's unmarked and it's towards the middle or the end of the festival, you don't quite remember what's happening. You don't quite remember what you're drinking. So I know he gave me something. It was either an all cane juice Worthy Park rum, or it might have been this out of a vial. I don't remember. So I had a quick sip there too, but let's just say that didn't happen, and Arizona was my first time, and this will be my second time. And also excuse the mess here. I'm kind of, and this actually here's my list of to-dos or videos I'm working on. I have a sophisticated software that I use, but sometimes it's just nice to see a whiteboard with your ideas. Let's also maybe try to compare the Overproof, the Worthy Park Overproof, with the rum-bar Overproof. I just bought a bottle of this because I realized I didn't have a bottle. And since they're no longer going to be available here in the States, it's worth stocking up on, I guess, right? Anyways, so Worthy Park Overproof, 63% ABV, 100% pot distilled, made from molasses and cane juice, I think separate rums. Both the molasses and the cane juice are estate grown and produced and all that, because Worthy Park has sugarcane fields and they have a sugar factory. So look, obviously very excited about this one right here. And we might as well just do it now. So, obviously I know this has cane juice in it, but if I didn't know that and I tried this blind, I would have said that this was a cane juice rum. And from the aroma, maybe I would have said like, oh, maybe it's a 40% ABV cane juice rum, like a rum agricole or something like that. Because it's not a big, bold, intense aroma. No, but I am getting some of that wet, watery, kind of cane note. Yeah, I will say, I don't have rum fire here right now handy, but I feel like, you crack rum fire open and you can immediately kind of smell it. This, not so much. Not really, it's pretty subdued. Now, the rum-bar Overproof. This smells, oh God, what does it smell like? No, obviously not like cane, a little bit like wet cement. So I'm getting, a little bit of cement, a little bit of like celery. So a little bit of sweetness on the rum-bar Overproof. Maybe a little bit of like vanilla frosting. A little pineapple, grilled pineapple maybe, a little bit of overripe banana, but it's really taking some coaxing. Yeah, okay, a little bit more time, definitely pineapple, like almost like a pineapple sherbet maybe. Going back to the Worthy Park, yeah, man, it's getting that cane, actually getting a little bit of savory tomato note on this. I didn't, when I had it the first time in Arizona, I had it like in a plastic cup about half the size of this, but in the shape of this. So obviously not, and again, such a small amount, not the proper vessel to kind of really get your nose in there to get a sense of the rum. But I'm really surprised by how much cane I'm picking up on this. Again, would not think that this was a unaged Jamaican higher proof rum. Maybe there's a little bit of like fermented fruit cocktail, like the juice or the syrup if it was slightly fermented. Maybe. All right, let's give these guys a taste. Cheers. That initial sip, first half was all pineapple. Yeah, all pineapple. I wasn't getting any of that cane. There's a little bit of, on the finish, a little bit of like minerality. I'm getting pineapple, pear sauce, pear kind of puree, pulpy, grainy pear on the back. That pineapple up front. A little hint of banana there as well. So I will say, this just feels much more drinkable compared to like Rumfire. Right, both are all pot still, overproof, funky Jamaican rums. Rumfire has a lot of that kind of a little more intensity on the palate. This is a lot more drinkable without it being kind of weak or light or thin like I think the Money Musk Overproof was. It's harder to pick up the cane juice here. I feel like it's primarily, at least on this first impression, coming on the aroma and not on the palate. It has a decent body, but it's not super thick and heavy. This is closer to medium, I guess. Doesn't taste 63% ABV. Doesn't feel harsh. That's pleasant, actually. Let's try the Rum-bar Overproof. Mint, a little bit of other kind of leafy greens, weirdly enough. That was a weird first sip, actually. This is a little bit more tighter on the palate, a little more intensity on the palate compared to the Worthy Park. Yeah, like my tongue feels like it's a little bit on fire. With this one, it didn't really ever feel like that. There's an element of brininess, a little bit of olives on this, actually. A good amount. But there is also a bit of banana, but it's oh God, I don't know how to describe that banana. Like it's overripe to the point that it's a little rancid, I guess. Without having gone back to either one of these after like I think 2 or 3 sips each, I think I enjoyed this experience a little bit more. I like flavors of like olive and brine and all that and my rums. That's not why I would say I'm leaning this way, but just there's a intensity here that makes it less drinkable. Not that it's necessarily worse for that, but if we're talking purely just from the perspective of sipping it, I think my first reaction would be to reach for this one. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of the Rum-bar Overproof. I don't think those flavors are really coming together right. There's a bitterness, tartness, or maybe a little bit of acidity there that is not really agreeing with me, which could work really well in cocktails, but kind of neat. Yeah, this feels more, I guess, quintessential Jamaican compared to the olive, mint, briny notes that I got with the Rum-bar Overproof. This seems like much more of a focused experience on the palate. It's not a bunch of flavors kind of popping up. And if I had to sip one of the two, I feel with confidence, I would say I would go with the Worthy Park Overproof. So that's cool because that's the one we're going to have available to us going forward. So that's a good thing. But yeah, still a lot of that savory cane note on the nose, but not a whole lot of it on the palate. I find that super fascinating and really interesting. Of course, we don't really know what the proportions are. Gotta imagine I don't want to say majority molasses. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the breakdown is, but I'd be interested to find out. But there you go. That is my second-ish impression on the Worthy Park, and really excited to try this in, obviously a daiquiri. Try it on a bunch of things. Want to try it in a nuclear daiquiri. I will do that at some point, and maybe we'll compare it to this and see how it does in cocktails. But there you go. Thanks so much for watching. Catch y'all next time. Cheers.